We're back once again. It's another stream. Can you believe it? Got bits and bobs to get through today. It's you know, a surprise live. I don't know. I'm kind of starting to come to the realization that maybe, just maybe, live streams are the way to go. With the odd video here and there, it's much better to be able to just sort of, you know, go doing live streams willy-nilly out of the blue. And if people want to watch, they can. It's also going to be uploaded as a video afterwards. So why not? It's a way to be really, really consistent. And I, for one, enjoy the format. I enjoy being able to talk to you guys and... Bayern Munich have confirmed the appointment of a new manager as we've started straight away. Vincent Kompany is the new manager of Bayern Munich. Can you believe it? Just as we begin. He's done it again. How's Kompany done that, by the way? How has Kompany done? You know when you look at you know when you look at a geezer and you're like, yeah. They're like completely out of the, you know, their missus is totally out of their league. That you know what I mean? You're like, how have you fucking done that then, eh? How's he pulled that one off? That is Kompany with Bayern Munich. It is, how? That's got to be one of the craziest appointments I've seen in quite some time. But either way, before we begin, please do smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already. We are already 5 subscribers, 6 actually, but 6 subscribers away from 8,500 subscribers. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? It's absolutely flown by. 500 subscribers in 2 weeks. It's not a bad old ratio, so to speak. It's been flying. All these streams have been helping massively. And it's going to be a 9-hour stream before you know it. But here we go. Got rejected by all managers, so had to go for relegation one for Chelsea. It's not how big your ball knowledge is, but how it's used. Probably the size of his head as well. Kompany's head is just enormous, isn't it? Anyway, with that said, with all the pleasantries out of the way, we do move on. We have got a case of more information surrounding one ENZO MARESCA to Chelsea. It's still not being confirmed 100%. Can already tell you're not looking forward to a 9-hour stream. I don't know. I'm more looking forward to 10 hours than 9 hours. I might skip the old 9 hours and go straight to 10. As you can see, Fabrizio earlier today posted that Enzo Maresca's contract at Chelsea until June 2029 will be signed soon. While the club will also pay compensation for the staff. At least 5 assistants. We're absolutely ransacking Leicester City from top to toe, you know, in a very Brighton and Hove Albion sort of way. Once again, we don't just take the one man. To be fair, it's never really just as clear cut as taking the manager, is it? It's you do always tend to get the whole backroom staff. It's not that I don't really understand why that's necessarily included. Although, you know, it's good to include that information. But if you know anything, even the smallest amount of knowledge about football, you'll know the backroom staff tends to come, don't they? So obviously compensation will be paid for that. And it says that there'll be, you know, part of Maresca's staff, including the former man himself. We are not with just one bald individual. We have quite possibly the baldest, quite possibly the baldest baldy to ever bald, and that is Mr. Willy Caballero, my goats, the man, the myth, the legend. I'm actually quite happy that he's coming back, to be fair. Always there. I feel like him and Petrovic will certainly, well, Petrovic will certainly gain something from, you know, Caballero being in the squad. Being someone who's had like countless. How old is he now? Caballero, 42. Obviously had a very, very short stint at Southampton. Was with us since 2017 to 2021. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We're looking at new keepers as well. We've been linked with a few people. There was the one, was it the one from Villarreal or Valencia? I can't remember what badge it was that I saw. It was one of the V's. It was one of the V's. But nevertheless, we have been but nevertheless, we have more or less be confirmed that we're going to be getting the backroom staff, including former goalkeeper Willy Caballero. And then more recently, I think about half an hour ago, a few more details coming out as well. Enzo Maresca's contract at Chelsea will be valid until June of 2029 with an option to extend for a further season. Now, I mean, will he need it? I don't know. This is the question. It comes down to so many variables, doesn't it? It really does. Like I for one, I'm not exactly confident it's going to work out, but at the same time, I always come into these situations saying, what if it works, eh? What if this is the final piece of the puzzle? Maybe bald was the way to go all along. You know, maybe this will be what it took, and it was against all the odds. We went against all the odds. No one gave Enzo Maresca a chance. Well, I'm telling you right here, right now, boys and girls, I'm giving him a chance. I'm not saying you aren't giving him a chance, but I'm saying here on camera, Enzo Maresca, he's got the full backing from me. I'm telling you now. With a head that round, a head that shiny, and the silverware betwixt his hands, I'm telling you now, I think we're in for you bookmark this, you clip this right now. I think we're in for a good ride. We're in for a ride. Not a good ride. We're in for a ride, I would say. I'm going to cover all bases, but I think we're in for a ride. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be good. I think there's going to be ups and downs for sure. But again, this will be the agreement with the Italian manager and his staff too, as reported yesterday, to be signed this week. Confirmed. Unsure how he can say confirmed until, you know, it's absolutely 100% done deal, dotted, scratched on the line, all the bells and whistles. But either way, it's. I was talking about this the other day, right? On a little side note, let me know, has Fabrizio, I mean, I feel like this question's been asked before, but Fabrizio and all these other people, they've ruined football. They've ruined the excitement of football, have they not? Like, imagine that there's so many, I would imagine there's so many of you that never knew the real feeling of like deadline day, or that Cesc Fabregas deal where no one saw it coming, no one knew it was happening, and then it happened out of absolutely nowhere in the back rooms of some restaurant where he had his picture taken. It all happened out of absolutely nowhere. Ozil to Arsenal as well. It's all those last ones. But you just didn't see it coming, and now months in advance, days, weeks in advance, it's just, yeah. And then when it's announced by the club, it's like, yay, yay. Well, there we go. We got it. It's over the line now. But yeah, I just feel like it's taken all the fun out of it. Obviously, I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for that and all there being rumblings and all that sort of thing. But I'm just saying, from a total viewer's perspective, or a consumer of football, it really has taken the fun out of it. No, I don't know. These are types of things to make it a little bit more interesting. But I guess it's the same as VAR. It's just it's a I don't know if I should use the analogy I want to use, but it's like you're ready to, and it's I don't know. Is it? Can I? I don't know. And then it's yeah or fuck. It's a delayed orgasm. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. It's a delayed or a completely. Anyway, we'll move on. But before we do, to Ian MAATSEN and some other bits as well. Well, I don't know. We've kind of already gone through it, and there's only so much. I was watching the hang on, what's his name? Is it Tom? I just want to get his name 100% right. It's not. It's James. James Alcott. James Alcott doing his How Chelsea's set up under ENZO MARESCA. And I saw a couple of the comments in there as well saying, I've still got PTSD from when you did this on Graham Potter, and it was outlining that, this will go here and this will go here, and it's all going to be so good. Chelsea under Graham Potter are going to be an absolute animal. They're going to be a real force to be reckoned with. And then, of course, you can do your tactical analysis, you can do your research, you can do this, that, and everything else. And I'm not for one second discrediting the knowledge of James Alcott or diminishing the product, because it's far more detailed and respectable than what I'm doing here, is just giving my opinion. I mean, I suppose he's giving his opinion as well, but it's outlining the possibilities, which is good. I like those types of videos to be able to see what could be, but by no means is it a definitive of what it's going to end up being like. I was seeing goalkeeper. Is Petrovic going to be the guy, regardless of whether you think he is going to be the guy? But under MARESCA, would he be the type of goalkeeper that we would want? Or that, sorry, not that we want, but that MARESCA would want, or MARESCA. He said MARESCA so many times that now I'm saying MARESCA. But no, he was saying with the goalkeeper, you need someone who's good on the ball, confident on the ball, and doesn't flail about, doesn't get too frantic like a Sanchez or a Kepa. Do you know what I mean? We need someone who's actually calm and cool under the ball, and will thread that needle. Will thread that needle like no other. And it is something that we've seen from Georgi Petrovic, and it's something that I think I would be really upset if he wasn't at least given that chance to showcase his talents. You say there's links to James Trafford's. Again, not exactly the star-studded links that we would want necessarily. Hello, Angeline. In defense, was talking about there's like 6, 7, 8 defenders. Wesley Fofana could be coming back at some point. You've got Reece James, 2 casualties in the making potentially, where similarly to Maurizio Pochettino, he wanted a certain style, and once Nkunku was swiped away from us, the plan just kind of went to shit, and we didn't stick with plan A. There wasn't a plan B until the very end of the season when we started working with an inverted fullback, of which ENZO MARESCA has been known, obviously, as by now everyone knows. He is partial to an inverted fullback. Would you prefer him to be playing with Cucurella, who's proven himself to work well in that system? in the last 5-6 games for Chelsea last season. Would you prefer? I do also agree with the mindset that I think Chilwell is. It's unlikely that we're going to see him thrive or even make his way back into this side. I'm open to it, but I completely understand where people would be in the mindset of it's time to call it a day. It's time to move on, to find an alternative or work with what we've got. The man we're about to talk about, Ian Maatsen, is he fit for the billing? Does he fit into that inverted situation? Is he someone who is capable of working in that formation, in that style of play? If it all kind of goes wrong with injuries, is he going to be someone who sticks around to fill that void, or is he inevitably, like we know he is probably going to skedaddle to someone else like a Borussia Dortmund? I tweet out earlier that I think that if it's all down to what did I say? Get your comments in the chat about this. But this was my tweet earlier on saying, what stops Ian Maatsen from breaking into the Chelsea squad now Pochettino is gone? Might we see a U-turn? Might we see him make a U-turn in terms of maybe a replenished or a rejuvenated outlook on the Chelsea side of things, where it seemed as though all hope was lost in his future at Chelsea Football Club? Will a potential UCL win sway his decision? Will that work in his favour? He's obviously got that buyout clause for 30 million, I believe, is what it is. Will he inevitably end up moving back or doing that whole move to Borussia Dortmund on a permanent deal if they win the Champions League? Shivendra makes a good point as well. Maatsen and his father's comments on Chelsea not running in the right direction may stop him from breaking into Chelsea. It's not good to see. But like I say, so many questions surrounding a truly talented player that we have to do everything to keep. And then you saw comments as well saying pure profit, blah, 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 the usual stuff, which makes perfect sense. And again, it would be nice, but it sounds like the manager doesn't get much of a choice on the players/transfers, so the decision might be out of his hands. He's been allowed some say, apparently, from what we've been hearing, that he has absolutely no control over what happens, but he is going to obviously be asked here and there what happens. Who do you want here? Who would your ideal person here be? Who would you want in this position? If we're talking centre of the field, from what I've seen as well, he works well in, or not works well, but going back to what the team's going to set up like, it seems as though, from what I've seen, ENZO MARESCA works or likes to work with a single pivoting player, like a one-man pivot. Caicedo seems like the most obvious man for the job. With Gallagher's not a guarantee. He's also not a player for that position. Enzo Fernandez is potentially in the wars with injuries. I don't know. It depends how he comes away with his hernia situation. And also, again, I don't really like him necessarily in that. If I was to say who is the man to go on a one-man pivot, it's got to be Moises Caicedo. Built like a brick shithouse in the sense of made to last. I know, touch wood, for the love of God, knock on wood. It doesn't seem as though he's had too much in the way of injuries. Moises Caicedo transfer market. We'll look at his player profile quickly. I don't want to put the mockers on it. I don't want to tempt fate or jinx or whatever. But it is worth noting. Did he have an injury this season? I don't think he did. I don't think he did. He hasn't. He was out for 8 days this season, as you can see, with a knock and a fever. I remember, yeah, he was one of those players that was injured. Not injured, sorry, he was ill. He was sick. But apart from that, you know, 8 days, 2 games missed. It wasn't too bad in the scheme of things. Do you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't necessarily the worst thing. That obviously opens up for a Gallagher, ENZO, 2 in the middle, and so on and so forth. We know what the front three is most likely going to be looking like, but at the same time, Elise coming in, who knows with that situation? Osimhen, Palmer, we got Mudryk, we've still got Sterling on the books. We've still got Lukaku on the books as well, don't forget. So, you know, this summer's going to be interesting in terms of transfers, ins and outs. Apparently, it's going to be an absolute whirlwind when it comes to signings. There's going to be a lot of ins and outs from what's been said. In regards to Ian Maatsen, it's been said that Borussia Dortmund will approach Chelsea after the UCL final to negotiate for Ian Maatsen, as we know, as we've just addressed. There is, of course, the situation with his dad being very outwardly spoken, very, forceful with the way he's spoken. I'll try and get the old tweets out. Bear with me 1 second. But, you know, like Shivendra just said, you cannot... You cannot go around talking shit about the club that you're still employed at and expect necessarily to be allowed to say these types of things. So this was back in May, the 1st of May, sorry, right at the beginning of this month. Is that Borussia Dortmund want to keep Ian Maatsen at the club, as revealed yesterday. The player's father, Edward, confirms the news. Yes, we are working on staying here. Things are not going well at Chelsea since the change of ownership. We are happy at Borussia Dortmund. It's a good place to be. You know, you just can't. You just can't be saying those types of things and expect it to kind of all be brushed under the rug. And of course, no matter how important a player as Ian Maatsen could prove to be in the future, you know, how old is he? 21? Maybe 22? 22 years old. Obviously proven to be really, really good for Dortmund this year. There's no real surprise from a Chelsea fan perspective, because we saw what happened in pre-season. He was easily in the top 3 of our best players during the pre-season tour. It's no surprise. But at the same time, when the team is needing pure profit, as they like to say, when the team is needing profit, it seems like an easy sort of like, let's just nip this in the bud straight away. Let's just nip this in the bud as soon as possible. Do you know what I mean? Get the 30 million, call it a day, take the loss on it, but avoid anyone else kind of fighting the ownership style, fighting the style that we're trying to enforce on this team. You know? So it's a damn shame. It's a real damn shame if he is to go. I personally think he would fit perfectly within the style that Enzo Maresca is trying to, well, I say trying to enforce, but for what we've seen, is the style from Enzo Maresca. I think Ian Maatsen would be a sore miss in that regard. I'm just seeing Elise is trending. I think we might touch on this if there is anything. but it is all typically, as we've seen, Manchester United being linked with him more so than Chelsea. Manchester United are confident on signing both Branthwaite and Michael Elise this summer. So not exactly the news that we're wanting to see. Not exactly the news that many of us will have wanted to see. But yeah, it's to say the least. There's a lot of things to be excited about. There really is a lot of things to be excited about. I'm just going to quickly, briefly rather, go through our players, because now surely this is everyone, because it would have been people back from loan. Am I right? I'm not right. So we got people on loan here. Bergstrom, absolutely no chance, I don't think. Eddie Beach, again, not really much of a chance. Kepa Arrizabalaga, no chance. Although I don't know. If Maresca, a big tell sign is if Maresca puts Kepa as our goalkeeper next season, then fuck me. It will be the very quickest ENZO out you will have ever seen. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have got no time for that. I truly think it's not a possibility. Slanina, one for the future, I reckon. Ian Maatsen, we've already gone over as well. Bashir Humphreys, we know, has, of course, been doing well during his loan spell. It is definitely, he is rather definitely a player that everyone's going to be keeping their eyes on, and has been for quite some time. Angerin, don't really know what's going on with him. He seemed to have like many sort of like touts for being like a really high profile player in the future, but again, it seems to have gone quiet on that front. Lewis Hall definitely going to Newcastle, it would seem. Amari Hutchinson, from what I've been told by Alex and on those playback streams, I think I haven't heard anything recently, but Alex is almost, he's resigned to the fact that Hutchinson's probably going. He's got his contract's ending soon, if not a year left, maybe. And from what he said, it wouldn't be a surprise if he was to go. Andre Santos, obviously a massive player for the future. Harvey Vale is another one that's kind of gone quiet. He was another one that was meant to be like a one for the future. They can't all be one for the future, but you know what I'm saying? Like he's kind of gone a bit under the radar at the moment. Charlie Webster, Armando Broya, got to be sold, I would imagine. Has to be sold. I can't imagine a world where Broya can get back into this team now after never really finding a way to start for fucking Fulham, of all teams. But again, didn't the club activate Amari's contract extension? Maybe? Amari Hutchinson. Oh. Well, there we go. Breaking news. How did I not see this? Chelsea have already triggered the option to extend Amari Hutchinson's deal until June of 2026. So it's only another 2 years. It obviously does really help us then in that case. It would be ridiculous if we didn't. Extend. With, of course, the keen eyes from the Bundesliga, Eredivisie. I've never been able to pronounce that in my life. Premier League, and so on. 2 more years of his contract as called by Nizar Kinsella. But again, easily, along with Willian Esteval, however you want to say it, and Andre Santos, they are the top players. Alex Matos has had a really, really good spell as well. Hakim Ziyech, I mean, he's a name that rings a bell. What happened to him? Who's this guy? Also, it says on loan. I swear to God, I swear he's gone. I swear we've confirmed that he's leaving at the end of the season. So I don't know why he's still on here. And then Romelu Lukaku as well is, of course, in the ranks as well. In terms of our senior players, Sanchez probably going to go. Bettinelli, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes. He is staying at Galatasaray, you're right. Disasi, very unsure on the standard of play from him, and very unsure as to whether or not MARESCA is going to put the trust and the faith in Axel Disasi. Mark Cucurella, I think, will potentially be a crucial player next season. Badiashile, he just needs an injection of confidence in his life, and hopefully we see more signs of the Badiashile that we had earlier on in the season, more than anything. Should we do a quick refresh? Trevor Chalobah, again, it's kind of 50-50 at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if he was to leave with the profit and all that sort of thing. Chilwell, again, I could kind of see him being sold on like a 30, 40, 45 million sort of deal to another club. James obviously staying, Colwill staying, Gusto staying, Fofana staying, Gilchrist going on loan probably, Sarr. How was he earning so much money? I mean, jeez! Someone brought this to my attention the other day. This guy, there's a reason he's not really bothered about leaving. Where is it? Annual weekly salary. Here he is. Look at this. So Lukaku is still our top earner. Is he there? Hang on. Chukwuemeka. Oh, you can't even see it. Hang on. There we go. Look how high up Malang Sarr is on that list. What is going on? More than Mudryk. More than Chukwuemeka. He's on 120,000 a week. How? It doesn't make any sense. It makes very little sense how Malang Sarr has managed to get this sort of paycheck. But alas, when does his thing run out? Hello? Malang Sarr. It's got to have a player profile, surely. He's a free agent in 2025. So I reckon we're just going to let his thing run out. 5 years. Jesus. I mean, you talk about your Scott Carson. Malang Sarr's got to be one of the highest earners of someone who doesn't do fuck all on a very regular basis. Enzo obviously staying. Ugochukwu, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes on a loan, but I would personally say that he is more than able to try and challenge for this team. The fact is, we have got quite a lot of competition in the middle, as we know. Carney Chukwuemeka, Conor Gallagher, Moises Caicedo, Casaday's put his foot in as well. Romeo Lavia, who's that? Never seen him play before. And then, of course, Sterling, sell, Mudryk, loan, if you're up to me. I feel like we need to do a keep, loan, sell full-on episode. So I won't go into too much detail here. But Madueke, again, I think he'll probably manage to stay. Jackson and Kunku, Palmer, their mainstays. Then David Washington and Moreira. Who knows? Who knows? But in terms of everything else, it's is it happy days? Is it happy days? I literally said that. Look up chat. Chilwell needs to go. He's not good anymore. He's just getting injured. Keep Chalobah. Oh. Did you say that? Sorry. I was busy talking. Just going through anything if we missed anything. Contracts to be signed with ENZO MARESCA to Chelsea later this week. Surprised Lucas Piazon isn't still on there. Jesus Christ. It wouldn't surprise me. But I think that's it. I think that's it for this episode or for this stream. I will be live later on around 7 p.m. UK time for a bit more gaming on Twitch. Twitch.tv/HarryCFXI. Please do join my I was going to say my Patreon then. Please do join my Discord. The link is in the description. Loads of updates all the time there. We do polls, all sorts. There's going to be plenty more updates over the summer window as well, whenever things happen. If you need to know anything as soon as it happens, that's the place to be. I will not be doing the Conference League final. Oh, fuck. I forgot that was on. I forgot that was on. Is it going to be as long as last night's stream? It will be. It will be. But now I've just remembered that the final's on. So do I postpone the gaming stream or... Okay, then I'll go ahead with the gaming stream. Don't worry. Please do subscribe if you haven't done so already. Like the video and hit the bell notification so that you know when I go live for these streams. I'm trying to do these as regularly as possible. I am away next week, so it'll be back to videos next week. But all the same, you know, once I'm back, it will be what do you call it? Regular streams all the time, every day, more or less. And then we've got the Euros and pre-season and so on and so forth. So plenty of content to come. As I said, next week it will be videos here and there, a little bit blotchy, but don't lose faith. I am coming back after that. Just a bit of a break, and then we will commence for the beginning of my season, more or less, with the Euros and so on and so forth. But again, I will be live in a couple of hours' time on Twitch, twitch.tv/HarryCFXI for some more Detroit Become Human. Until then, I'll see you later. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 10 o'clock. See you later.